I would like to speak about the concept of regenerative medicine, and we would like to see is it a need nowadays or it's a necessity for human beings right now in the middle of 2025. At the beginning, it's better to define the terminology of regenerative medicine. Regenerative medicine is an interdisciplinary approach and discipline in advanced medicine in which we would like to repair or replace damaged tissues. So two important missions in regenerative medicine are repair and replace of damaged tissue. When we speak about damaged tissue, the etiology, the reason of this damage could be trauma, could be genetic disorders, could be chronic inflammation, and could be any etiology, any pathology which resulted in damage or any pathology, any defect in the problem. So we would like to address this loss of function in the different organs by regenerative medicine. If you look at the history of regenerative medicine, we can find some great stories related to this terminology, and one of the most famous stories raised in Greek in many years ago, in which Prometheus, one of the gods of that time, shared the information about fire. And right now we know this fire is a kind of knowledge, and he was punished by Zeus, and he was, held to some mountains, and a big eagle was appointed to kill him by eating his liver. But every day, the missing part of liver was regenerated, and every day this missing part replaced with the lost part. And it was the mystery and story about behind this regenerative medicine. You can see this schematic figure, again, representative for regenerative medicine, and it was published a few years ago by our group, in which we wanted to show the cellular and molecular aspects of regenerative medicine. But when you check the literature in West and East of the world, you can find many stories related to being alive and young forever. So people wanted to find the fountain of youth, or some specific kind of medication or water. After eating this medication, after drinking this water, they could be young forever. So being young forever and being healthy and strong was a great dream for all human beings in the West and the East of the world. In our literature in Iran, in Old Persia, we have this story. And in Ferdowsi Shahnameh is a great literature in Iranian literature, in which you can see a story about Sfandiar. He was immortal, and nobody could kill Sfandiar, because Sfandiar was a person who found this fountain of youth, and he could swim in this spring, and he was immortal, and except for his eyes, all parts of his body was very strong, but Rostam, the figure in the right part, could hit Sfandiar and could finish his immortality because he was vulnerable and from his eyes, and Rustam could hit his eyes. This is the story behind this being immortal and being young forever in our literature. But let me start my presentation with these multiple choice question. The question is, 1,300 years ago, before Christian born, around 3,000 years ago, the life expectancy at birth was 20 years old in whole the world. But now it's globally, it's more than 68 to 70 years through the globe. And what's your idea? Do you know the average lifespan at the beginning of 20s? Because this presentation is not in full screen, you can see the right answer. The right answer is 31 years old. So it's about the numbers. Look at this slide. You can see in 5 years, only in 3,000 years, only 5 years added to human life expectancy. But in recent century, only in 100 years, we can see a remarkable increase in the life expectancy of human beings. And what is behind this remarkable increase in the life expectancy of human beings? We would like to share some information about this increase in life expectancy. Let's start with a fairy tale story. Once upon a time, many years ago, infectious diseases and malnutrition and sanitary issues were the major challenges for health experts. When I speak about infectious disease and malnutrition, I'm talking about a recent century. It's about 80 to 75 years ago, in which we could see different types of infectious diseases. But during this century, thanks to industrialization in food, thanks to the development of antibiotics, thanks to introduction of vaccination, and thanks to hygiene measurements through the world, infectious disease were controlled, and also malnutrition also was controlled. And after this successful story behind controlling infectious diseases and malnutrition, the life expectancy in human beings start growing and growing. And right now, in some countries, this growth is very remarkable. I will come to this subject in my next slides, but it's very interesting to know that in a country like Japan, life expectancy is something between 88 to 92 years old, and it shows how this development could help human beings to increase their life expectancy. But right now, we face 5 major challenges in future medicine. So if we want to talk about the main challenges for the future of medicine, I can summarize these challenges in 5 categories. First, aging. Aging is a real challenge in next decade for all societies in the world. After that, cancer. Cancer is a great potential of life-threatening issue for human being, and in most cases we can see development and progression of disease in elderly people. After that, autoimmune diseases and allergy are very important issues for human beings. It may be interesting for you to know that obesity and diabetes are the other, important challenges for human being. And after that, and finally, chronic and degenerative disorders are the main issues for human being in the next decades. When we speak about, increasing in life expectancy, we can see a tragedy in which the abilities and capacities of different organs and different systems start declining. And when we talk about elderly people, we can see they gradually lost their capacities, and their systems and their organs are not so functional as they were already. So disability is increasing in parallel with the increasing number of rate of life expectancy in human being. Look at this map. This is adopted from WHO web page, and in which you can see the difference between different countries based on life expectancy. And the subject and the important message of this map could be that in countries with higher GDP, the life expectancy is more. So life expectancy could be representative or could reflect the GDP of different countries as well. In 2020, it's not so far, it's in 25 years, we can see a dramatic change in different proportion of population of different countries in the world. Right now, it's almost 10% of population in the world are more than 60, but in 25 years, it will be 22%. When I say 22% of whole population, I mean more than 2 billion people in 2020 will be more than 60, and it means 1 through 5 people are in their elderly age, and perhaps they are suffering from some disabilities or some chronic disorders, and they need more support and more care. So aging in next 25 years will be a great potential of threat for health experts, and they should focus on this issue to solve it. Also, the pattern of the etiologies people go through the clinics will be changing in the next 25 years. But this slide is very, very important because it represents a potential socio-economic challenge in the societies right now in the next decades, in which you can see the pensioner, the retired persons, the number of them is gradually increasing, and in parallel, the number of working people, the working, fraction of the society decreasing, and this decrease could be resulted in some financial issues in insurance companies and retirement companies, and we should have a planning for this issue. I know in many countries they are started to increasing the retirement age, and also proposing some plans to increase the quality of life in their elderly people. But all societies and communities should think about this challenge, because we are all connected to each other. Here you can see some milestones in regenerative medicine, and I skipped this slide, but I would like to ask your attention about a big fact in this case. The point is stem cell therapy market and regenerative medicine is a hot topic in financial markets right now, and we can see a great increase in the number of companies, and also a great increase in the investment in this field, which is representative of the importance of this subject in the future of human beings. And also here you can see the increasing number of investment in regenerative medicine, and it says in 2050 the increase in the investment will be 3 times more, and it means people know the importance of this subject in their daily life. When we speak about strategies in regenerative medicine, it's better to be familiar with a paradigm in regenerative medicine. We call it 3R paradigm. 3R paradigm stands for replacement, regeneration, and rejuvenation. When we say replacement, we are going to transplant some cell-based products or some progenitor cells to reestablish hemostasis in the recipient patient. A very well-known example of a replacement therapy would be bone marrow stem cell transplantation, which is very common in many countries. And in this approach, we use bone marrow stem cells to reestablish homeostasis in the patients with some hematologic disorders. The second R in 3R paradigm stands for regeneration, in which we engraft progenitor cells that require in vivo growth and differentiation to establish recipient hemostasis. And also, when we speak about rejuvenation, we use some intervention to induce resident stem cells of the recipient's own tissue to start proliferation and growth. And a good example in this case could be injecting, for example, autologous fibroblasts in some skin disorders. We have a approved product in this category. We call it Reneoderm cell, which is a autologous fibroblast-based product for skin rejuvenation. In this slide, you can see a triangle representative for, as I told you, 3R paradigm in regenerative medicine. And you can see the main focus is on repairing some damaged tissues. And in this focus, we can restore the lost physiologic function, or we can renew damaged or lost tissues, and also we can recycle some damaged parts of a system in order to repair it and help to restore the physiologic function of the damaged tissue. When we say cell and molecular basis for tissue regeneration, we should consider cellular based of cell replacement, or for cell regeneration. When we say cell replacement, we have 2 different mechanisms for compensation of lost cells. The first mechanism is a simple mitosis. We call it compensatory hyperplasia, in which a single cell can go through simple mitosis and produce 2 daughter cells exactly identical, and these proliferation can compensate the lost cells. But another cell-based mechanism to compensate missing cells is based on stem cells, in which we don't have mitosis and symmetric mitosis. In this stem cell-based compensation of missing cells, we have asymmetric mitosis. And in this scenario, stem cells start producing some progenitor cells, and these progenitor cells start growing and proliferating, and meanwhile start differentiation and taking the characteristics of the terminal cells. Okay, what are stem cells? This is a very brief and quick presentation related to stem cells. Stem cells have two main characteristics. First, self-renewal. When we say self-renewal, I would like to show you again this slide. You can see this blue cell, it's a stem cell. It can produce an exact cell similar to itself. This is called self-renewal. So in each asymmetric division of stem cells, we can have one cell identical to the stem cell. It is called self-renewal. And the second characteristic of stem cells is their differentiation potential. It means stem cells can differentiate to different cell fate and different lineage. And based on the level of stemness, we can see different capacities in stem cells. The most potent stem cells are called totipotent cells. And after that, we have pluripotent cells and also lineage committed cells. Totipotent cells literally can differentiate to all cell types in human being and also extraembryonic tissues and membrane. But pluripotent cells are literally can differentiate to all cell types in human being. And it may be interesting for you to know that in an adult human being, almost 207 types of differentiated cells exist. And this is a very, very interesting subject, because we all generated from a single cell, and this single cell underwent consecutive multiplication and amplification. And after that, we have complex organs and complex beings. But in this complexity, we have almost 207 types of mature and functional cells. This is the first part of my lecture.